Good evening. Good evening. If you could please take your seats, we'd like to get started. And welcome to the annual Boyertown Area Progress Dinner. We thank you all for being here tonight to support not only this community, but the great work that's done in this community as we celebrate that this evening, always highlighted by our film produced by our own students here at the Boyertown Area School District. As we get ready to get started, I'm going to call on Eileen Dautrick, who is president of the TriCounty Area Chamber of Commerce, to recognize our sponsors and legislators. Now, normally we just give a normal applause, and no, Eileen, this is not in the script. But kind of stalking social media, I saw recently that Eileen was just celebrated for 25 years. At the age of 12, she started with a chamber. I'm going to ask you all to stand up and give her a standing ovation for 25 years at the chamber. Eileen Dautrick, awesome job.
Thank you very much, everyone. As Greg mentioned, my name's Eileen Dautrick. I'm president of the TriCounty Area Chamber of Commerce. Yes, I have been here since 1999, so I have been through quite a lot of these events. And I really just also want to acknowledge a lot of the people in the room are familiar faces, former board members, current board members, employees, contacts that I have made over the years. This is the Boyertown event, so there's some classmates in the audience that graduated with me. So I just want to acknowledge and thank everybody that has not only supported me through the years, but also has supported the organization. So thank you to all of you as well. Again, as Greg mentioned, I'm just going to give some special recognition this evening. We are fortunate to have some legislators with us in attendance. So I would just like to recognize representing Pennsylvania Senator Tracy Pennicook's office, Lisa Walter is joining us. We are to have Penn State Representative Mark Gillen and Donna Shurin in attendance. And Berks County Commissioners Christian Leimbach, Michael Rivera, and Dante Santoni. I'd also like to acknowledge the Boyertown Area Progress Dinner Committee. We appreciate their help in helping the staff and the team prepare for this event every year. So if you are in attendance as a committee member, if you would please stand. Carol Beatingcup of Bally Block Company, Greg Herb of Herb Real Estate, Wendy Moyer-Drabick of Moyer-Drabick and Associates. Come on, I know you're here, you can stand. Tracy O'Connor of Brakeman's Cafe, Mary Beth Torsha of the Boyertown Area School District, Debbie Dill of Pottstown Hospital Tower Health, and Beth Beal of TriCounty Area Federal Credit Union. Thank them all for their support. In addition, we have a few members of the TriCounty Chamber Board of Directors here this evening, so if I can also ask them to stand. Again, Wendy Moyer-Drabick, Bill Vitiello of the Victory Bank, and Rich Newell from Pottstown Hospital Tower Health. And finally, those companies who we are very grateful for the support that they provide in serving as sponsors for this event every year. Our platinum sponsors, CHDC, Community Health and Dental Care, and Martin Stone Quarries. Our gold sponsor, the Bodie Borneman Companies. Our silver sponsors, Global Advanced Metals, Pottstown Area Health and Wellness Foundation, and Pottstown Hospital Tower Health. And finally, our bronze sponsors, Bally Block Company, Brakeman's Cafe, Diamond Credit Union, Herb Real Estate, and Tompkins. Thank you all for your support. And my last acknowledgement is just to the Tri-County Chamber staff. Events like this do not happen without a team of people behind them. So I just want to acknowledge, I think, is everybody up here? Some are still downstairs. So Alice Funk, who's our events director, does a lot of the lion's share of the work for this event. Haley is up here. Haley Heimbach's our marketing and communications director. We have Melissa Shaneline, who's our Member Services Director and Office Manager, and Angela Mizik-Gallardo, who also serves as our Member Relations and Engagement Director. So a huge thank you to all of them for their efforts as well.
Thank you, Eileen, and congratulations again for 25 stellar years at the Chamber. And I echo your thoughts with the staff, because they've been amazing to work with, as we have for many years, over planning and preparing for this event this evening. We're about to ready to serve dinner. Before that, in lieu of a prayer, I'd like us to all bow our heads in a moment of silence. We lost two really important members of this community who have contributed much over their time frame here in our community, and that's Glenn Martin and Charles Haddad. Both of them were recent James K. Boyer Quality of Life Award recipients. Really shows the depth of what they've contributed to this community, and through their work continue to contribute. So in honor of both Glenn and Charles, I would ask you to please bow your heads in just a moment of silence. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. And with that, we'll have dinner out and we'll resume our program shortly. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, if I can have your attention, we're going to continue with our program. Thank you all. I hope everyone enjoyed their dinner. And I'd also like to take a moment and acknowledge the staff here at La Mazzeria at Bella Vista. If we can please give them a round of applause for their service this evening. It's my pleasure to welcome to the podium for our award presentation the 2023 James K. Boyer Quality of Life Award recipient, Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach.
Thank you very much, Eileen, and congratulations on 25 years. Thank you, Greg, for pointing that out. What is quality of life? It's about neighborhoods, clean and safe communities. It's about recreation and arts and great schools. Most importantly, it's about the people that help make the community what it is. For many years, Boyertown has been called a special kind of place, a definition that highlights the unique and positive qualities that we see and experience here in Boyertown. Each year, the TriCounty Area Chamber of Commerce honors an individual who, through their volunteering and investment, shape and strengthen the Boyertown community. That award is the James K. Boyer Quality of Life Award. As the 2023 recipient of this honor, it is my pleasure to be here tonight to present the 2024 award. The 2024 James K. Boyer Quality of Life Award is presented this evening to Mr. Greg Herb, owner and broker of Herb Real Estate, Inc. Greg is no stranger to this event. In fact, he kicked it off this evening, and he has served as an MC for many, many years. And while he's been a great MC, Greg's done a little bit more than just MC the TriCounty Area Chamber of Commerce Progress Dinner. Greg is well known and respected for his work and service over many years. Recently, he received the 2023 National Association of Realtors Distinguished Service Award, an award presented annually to only 2 of its 1.5 million members. That is a big deal. While we are proud of this national recognition, tonight I want to highlight what Greg means to his and our local community. So let's highlight Greg Herb's contributions to the quality of life in the Boyertown area. Greg's real estate knowledge benefited our region through a variety of projects and initiatives that contribute to our local vital economy. He served families through his past leadership on the board of the YMCA. He served on the United Way board, providing help and support for numerous local organizations. He served on the board of AMBUCS, an organization dedicated to helping people with disabilities. He's the recipient of a special award from the Hawk Mountain Boy Scout Council. Greg is a founding member and president of the Foundation for Boyertown Education, making a significant impact on students and education. Last year, the foundation celebrated 10 years of enriching educational experiences for students in the Boyertown Area School District by providing grants and enhanced learning opportunities. So why does this award matter? And why should we celebrate a person like Greg Herb? It matters because it's people like Greg that help make Boyertown a special place. And it matters because we need to, now more than ever, celebrate the good things good people do in our community. There are good people among us, and Greg is one of them. Greg, I hope you will continue your service as MC for this event. And thank you for your selfless service to the Boyertown area. Now, in the spirit of the Colebrookdale Railroad, where you can also find Greg Herb helping volunteer his time as a conductor and in many other ways, join me and all aboard in helping to congratulate the 2024 James K. Boyer Quality of Life Award winner, Mr. Greg Herb. Before you comment, we're going to have some other folks come up, get a picture. No, leave it right here. I'd like to ask some of our elected officials to come up. They're going to hand to him some certificates. Greg?
Yes, so this is a part that got a little weird. By way of disclosure, I've been on this committee and I think I've emceed for about, 30 years or so or close to it. And when we had a meeting back in late summer, early fall, we got to that part of the agenda. They said, well, that's already been decided. I said, no, we have to go over it. And they said, no, we had a meeting without you the week before. So had I been there, it would not have happened. So I can tell you it's a lot easier and less stressful when you give the award than to receive it. But I'm most appreciative. Commissioner, thank you for your kind words. It's been a year where I look back where the state association, I was honored with this lifetime achievement and the DSA from the national, and of course the James K. Boyer Quality of Life Award. But let me tell you, it's not about the hardware. This is very nice and I'm most appreciative, I truly am. But it's quite frankly, if I look back, it's the relationships over my 45 years in this industry and serving my career. And for that, I'm so appreciative. It's about the lives and the people that you've touched doing that process, and I've been lucky enough to do that. While this award is tonight given to an individual, as you'll look through past recipients, it's organizations that have had an impact and associations, and once in a while an individual. But don't think for one moment that any one individual deserved or earned this or got this recognition on their own. Because many of you in this room tonight's fingerprint is on that. I feel like I've been blessed with an opportunity to serve my industry, which I'm passionate about, and most importantly, my community. And for that, I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for you for giving me the opportunity to do what I love. How much luckier can one get? I do want to say a couple of thank yous. I'm not going to ask anybody to stand, but I have a great support from the office that's here, from my office at Herb Real Estate. Just raise your hands. I'm not going to make you stand, but you are here. There you go. Because they also have supported me in my activities, both at the state and national level within my organization and industry, as well as in the community. Sometimes they complain, but I think they love me nonetheless. Kristen mentioned the Foundation for Boyertown Education. I've been fortunate to work with the Railroad, Scouting, and many other organizations. And one of my passions, I see a lot of members around here. Just raise your hand from the foundation. These folks, the event committee, the board members, you mentioned 10 years, Commissioner. 10 years we started with 2 nickels. We rubbed them like crazy. We work very hard. And in 10 years, in about 9.5 years, we hit the $1 million mark. We brought $1 million back to this community through our fundraising. It's these guys. And I see a lot of folks from my Ambler Savings Bank, which I'm honored to serve on the board at Ambler, and a lot of folks over there. You can raise your hand. Thank you for being here tonight, and appreciate the opportunity to work with you as well. Most importantly, my actual family. So I have a lot of families, my realtor family, the bank, the railroad, et cetera. But I really do have a family who's been supportive. My daughter's traveling today for business, my son, his wife, folks from the office, and of course my mom's here. And most importantly, my wife, who supports me and puts up with my shenanigans. Love you and thank you so much for that opportunity. I would talk about, and I want to share a really short story. I would talk about my dad, who's my idol, my late father. But the namesake of this award is Jim Boyer. So let me just share a quick story. I think that this resonated with me when they told me in the call and kind of surprised me and said, you're getting this award. I fought it for a tad, but then they wouldn't relent up. So it was about 38 years ago, it was 1986. I was in the old post office when it was located up on North Reading Avenue. And I was a young guy in the business, didn't know too much, was in the business probably 4 or 5 years, and it was a birth of our first child, Val. So I gave her age away, she's not here tonight, but that was about 38 years ago. And I walked in the post office, and when I walked in, it was kind of a gasp. Jim Boyer's here. He's this iconic, legendary figure, and here he is in the bank. Now, he did not know who I was, but I certainly knew who he was. And I went up, not to the counter, but to the side. I had to fill something out. I remember doing something, and I felt this shadow come over me. I turned around and I looked, and it was Jim. He grabs my hand, and he starts shaking my hand. He looks at me squarely in the eye. He says, and this could have happened last night. I remember it just as vividly. He says, now, Gregory, he says, tell me. He said, Valerie, is that your daughter? He knew my name. He knew my daughter's name. Why do you know her name? We had scrimped and scraped and put $1,000 of stock back in 1986 in a fund after the birth of our first child as a way for college. He knew that. He said, I saw you had a daughter. He said, congratulations. He said, but I saw what you did. Now, $1,000 was an awful lot to me at that time, to us. It's huge. To him, it was nothing. Big bank, very successful bank. But he actually knew that we invested. He continued to shake my hand. He says, I want you to know you made a great investment. Now tell me, is that for your daughter for college and education? I said, well, yes, sir, it is. He says, I want you to know we're going to do a great job with that. We're going to take care of it. And you made a wise investment. I walked out of there that day, and I tell you, I had skid marks, or I had brush burns on my chin from the marble floor of the post office. Because, here's this guy. So Jim represented not only an iconic figure in this community, but contributed immensely to the quality of life. And it's always strive to pick who your idols are, but if we all would be a little bit more like James Boyer. He was such a great person, great heart, and did so much. So thank you very much for this honor. I'm truly honored and truly appreciate it. Now let's get back to the program. Thank you. At this time, it's my honor to call up Jared Sparks, the principal of the Boyertown Area High School, for recognition of our flute choir and the high school and the great program that they're putting on tonight.
Hi, good evening, everyone. First off, thank you and congratulations. That's a tremendous story that you share with us. I appreciate you doing that. I'd like to start off by having the honor to introduce our Boyertown Area Senior High School students and staff who are here performing tonight. First off, a thank you to our flute choir, who's been over there led by Krista Gallagher, as well as Elizabeth Schweitzer. Hopefully I said it right, Liz, I asked you. As well as our students who are participating tonight, Brenda Fenton, as well as Allison Ford and Cadence Fox. So thank you, ladies, for putting on your music. You did a great job. All right, so this is the surprising part. I'm here to introduce Mr. TriCounty, who's our telecommunications teacher. He, along with several of our students who are here tonight, have been working on a project so secret that I, too, have never seen this video or have any idea what this is about. So my reputation stands on the line of hopefully their good judgment here. I'd like to thank Drake Deal, Sarah Campbell, as well as Julia Lee, Evan Litchfiss, and Braden McDonald for the video that we are about to see. Mr. TriCounty, thank you so much for putting this together.
What's the holdup, chaps?
The sudden decompression of the Instapot made the flux capacitor stop capacitating, and the flex seal of the entire copper pot melted through.
And what does all that nonsense mean?
Train's broke, sir.
Well, I've gathered that much. How long will it take until it's unbroke?
At least 2 days, sir.
Well, make it 2 hours, or you're both not getting paid this week.
Aye, aye, Captain!
I'm sorry to announce that the train will be held up for a couple of hours as we make necessary repairs.
This is unacceptable. I have an insurance conference I have to attend in Boyertown.
Yes, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but you will be well attended to as you wait. Oh my God, a print newspaper!
No, not that. The article says only one business to be featured at Boyertown's Progress Dinner this year.
Let me see that. You're right. It says in order to save money, the Chamber of Commerce will only be featuring one local business this year, and it has not yet decided which business that will be.
I can't believe they're only featuring one business this year.
No, it doesn't matter.
I won't
That
stand
doesn't
for
matter.
this.
No.
Bodie Borneman's never been featured, and we've been a mainstay in this community for decades.
For sure, the Atherton Inn is the business that should be featured.
If it's only going to be one business, it should be the Crossroads Guitars and Art.
What's a real
No.
Perot, they are going to riot. You must do something or they'll tear this train apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hercule Poirot, and I am probably the greatest detective in the entire world. I will question each of you and decide which, if any of you, should have your business featured at this year's Boyertown Progress Dinner. I am highly respected by the TriCounty Chamber of Commerce, and they will certainly accept my recommendation. Before I begin, I would like my dessert.
Thank you, miss. This looks delicious.
It is, sir. This is our French sponge cake I picked up today from our local giant.
I can't wait to try it.
You won't be disappointed, sir. Is there something wrong, sir?
No.
So I understand your name is Douglas Nessler, and you are the owner of the Crossroads Guitars and Art in Gilbertsville?
That's correct.
So, are you a store that sells paintings of guitars?
I do say, Pierre, let me handle the questioning. So, are you a store that sells paintings of guitars?
Not exactly. We are an arts experience store combining art, photography, music lessons, live performances, and retail sales of guitars, digital pianos, and accessories.
Where exactly are you located?
We're located on Route 73, directly across from the Gilbertsville Shopping Center. We offer lessons for guitar, piano, voice, banjo, mandolin, drums and percussion, as well as stringed instruments. Our group is headed up by Evan Cole, a talented instructor who is our Director of Arts Programming. Evan has extensive experience in teaching piano, voice, and guitar. Evan also interviews, qualifies, and hires our additional teachers who are all on staff and ready to service our customers.
What did you have to do to the building you are located in to get it ready for this new business?
Well, when I signed the lease, it became apparent that extensive renovations would be necessary to bring the building up to the standards that we hope to put forward for the community. I hired an excellent contractor who spent nearly 10 months tearing the walls down and rebuilding every aspect of our facility. It includes state-of-the-art electronics, rooms, and completely renovated facilities, including 4 lesson rooms, a performance stage, and a beautiful art gallery as well.
What are your hours of operation?
We're open weekdays from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. and Saturday from 9:30 till 4 p.m. We also have evening concerts, workshops, and special events at different times during the week.
Why did you decide to open up this type of business in the Boyertown area?
I spent my entire career in the music products industry, and this has been a passion project for me, a real dream to create an environment that brings the community together and ties together all of the arts, whether it be photography, art, music, and more. I feel very passionate about what we've done, and we hope to become a community magnet for the arts and really for bringing people back together to spend time talking, playing music, and enjoying the arts together.
So your business sounds very new and intriguing. But is it true that you don't give cowbell lessons?
Well, we take this question very seriously. We have been interviewing scores of candidates to make sure that we have the right teacher, because as we all know, we need more cowbell.
Ah, very good response, sir. That's all for now. You may join the others.
Detective Perot, this is Sean Deviney, the Vice President of Bodie Borneman Insurance Agency.
Hello, Mr. Deviney. I understand that your business was founded in 1964. Could you tell me a little bit more about the history of your business?
So yes, it was founded in 1964 by Howard Bodie and Ralph Borneman. The original location was on Reading Avenue, kind of between Fraycon Farms and the Jukebox, in a small building there. So they were there for a few years, then they relocated their business into town on Philadelphia Avenue, across the street from where we're located right now. In 1990, they purchased the old IGA across the street from their location and remodeled it, and that's where we are today. Brad Borneman and myself purchased the company from Ralph Borneman and Howard Bodie in 2004. We've been currently running the business since that time, and we love this community.
What services do you provide?
So we're a full-service insurance agency. We sell auto, home, life, health, commercial, and long-term care insurance. We're an independent agency, so we represent carriers like Erie, Selective, Travelers, Hartford, and many, many more. The primary goal of our company is to provide our customers with the highest level of service at the lowest possible cost.
What makes you stand apart from other insurance agencies?
So as an independent insurance agency, we are able to represent many carriers. So if we have customers that are unhappy with their rates, or they have a problem with a claim that happened, we're able to go to those different carriers to help make that customer happy. Another thing is there's some services that we offer that are specialized, like we have an in-house loss control risk management team, and we also handle in-house claims for our customers.
How many employees and offices does the business have?
Currently, we have over 40 employees, and I'd say the majority of them all live inside of the TriCounty Chamber footprint. And also, we have 5 different locations. Our flagship location is here in Boyertown. We have a Pottstown office. We have a Phoenixville office, a Westchester office, and we just added a new Bluebell office.
Now I understand you've recently done some work to your Boyertown office to enhance the appearance.
We saw what the Atherton Inn had just done. So my partner Brad came to me and said, hey, we need a little freshen up. So we called upon two of our good customers, Berkey Corporation and the Reinhardt Painting Company. Went out to them, they came over and we put up a whole bunch of cedar hardy plank and black and white paint, and that's how we are today.
Now is it true, sir, that your company doesn't have a jingle?
We all need insurance, Boyertown is the place. Personal friendly service puts a smile upon your face. Commercial life and group health coverage all under one roof. With the Boyertown Company, satisfaction is the proof. Boyertown will always stand by you. Boyertown will always stand by you.
Well, aren't I the fool? I never should have doubted you, sir. Thank you for your commitment to the Boyertown area. You may now go join the others. How's it coming along, chaps?
I believe we'll be freed up in an hour, sir. Have you decided who you recommend to be featured at this year's Progress Dinner, sir?
Not quite. I have one more interview left to do. However, I think this will be the toughest decision of my career. Now, why don't you men get back to work and put your back into it, would you?
Aye, Captain!
Ms. Cullen, Detective Perot is ready to see you now.
Very well.
So, Miss Cullen, I understand that you are an innkeeper in Boyertown at a place called the Atherton. Can you explain to me how this came to be?
I came into town a few years ago for a class reunion. I grew up here in Boyertown, and I knew that the Twin Turrets at that point was for sale, and I was intrigued by the changes that were happening in the town. I noticed that there were a lot more small businesses and restaurants coming in. The train is here, and it just seemed like a very good fit. So we moved ahead, and I purchased it in July of 2022.
What is the history of this building?
It's a building that was established in the 1850s, and it was originally owned by the Boyer family, who are the founders of Boyertown. It went through several different businesses after they owned it, and eventually became the Twin Turrets in the 80s. Mary Ann Deary ended up purchasing the Twin Turrets with her husband Frank, and Mary Ann was the mayor of Boyertown. She owned it for several years and did a wonderful job. I purchased it from the Dearys in 2022.
So what did you do to the inn after taking ownership?
We fully renovated every room top to bottom. So we painted, we put up different crown molding, we turned some rooms into a more common space for guests to enjoy, and just updated everything.
What type of accommodations do you offer?
We have 2 king turret suites that are in the front rooms that are our best rooms of the house. You can also rent individual rooms by the night, by the weekend. You can rent the apartment, which we renovated as well. And we do offer the entire inn that you can rent for things like families that are coming in from out of town, or if you have an event like a girls' weekend or a reunion that you want people to come in, you can have the whole house to yourself. We also have the inn available for events, so we use that a lot for showers, birthday parties, business meetings, so people come in and rent the first floor.
And the name Atherton, what does that mean?
George Atherton is my great-great-grandfather, who was the president of Penn State. And he's also known for being the second founder of Penn State. He did a lot of great accomplishments at Penn State and is buried on campus. And I thought this would be an interesting nod to him.
Now, is it true that you don't have waterbeds? Give me that. You have your own.
Honestly, nobody really likes a waterbed.
Ha, I guess you're right. Well, thank you for informing me about your inn. If I ever get to Boyertown, I will be sure to try out your accommodations. You may now join the others.
Well, Detective, it seems as though you have a very difficult decision to make. All the businesses seem worthy to be featured at the Progress Dinner. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
And I certainly wouldn't want to be in yours. Well, I think I've made my decision. Bring all the guests outside the train so that I can dramatically address them in the cold winter air.
Right away, sir.
I would like to thank you all for informing me of your fine businesses. You are all doing great things for the Boyertown area, and you are all worthy of being featured at this year's Progress Dinner. So, I've decided to recommend all of you to the TriCounty Chamber of Commerce for inclusion in this year's Progress video. In fact, we've had a film crew here the entire time, and we will simply use the footage for the dinner. And also, the train isn't even stuck, and you are already in Boyertown, so you are all free to go.
Excuse me, sir. Are you Hercule Poirot, the famous detective?
Indeed I am.
I was sent by Posse to retrieve you. There's been a new Chipotle that just opened.
I will be right there. That's a good burrito.
Again, we recognize Jared Sparks, the principal from the high school. And I think there's a large contingency from the high school sitting back there. If you guys would raise your hands. Thank you for sharing your students with us. And Bill Karchaski never likes when I do this, but quite frankly, his leadership has been absolutely amazing. When you see that these students filmed this, portrayed, came up with a skip under his guidance, I could repeat my notes every year and say, how do you outdo this? Good luck next year, you know? But a lot of the students are still here. Where's Mr. Kachaski? He's standing somewhere. So let's thank them especially. And of course, the stars of the video, you guys all did an awesome job as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for being here this evening. We have a few things to wrap up with some closing remarks, which I think we will condense tonight, but we also have the 50-50s. Do we have people, has anyone gotten a 50-50 ticket? And I should have plugged this, a shameless plug earlier, that I didn't do. But in honor of Rich Graver, who is a past member, chamber chairman, et cetera, a scholarship fund was set up last year for an FBLA student. In the back of your program, there is information about that scholarship. So all proceeds from that will go to benefit that scholarship, which is awarded annually to a Boyertown student. If you want to, we have a basket here. If anyone wants to grab a ticket yet, it's not too late. We'll still grab anybody. We're all good? Okay. I'm going to defer that to one of the commissioners to pull, because I'm going to get in trouble with that, to pull a ticket. So we're going to pull that ticket out right now. All right. I don't have this in a large font, so you got to break out the glasses.
$515 going to the winner.
Whoa, you wanted 515? There is a total of $515. That's the winner's take tonight. So you guys have been generous. So for the folks that were selling the tickets, you did an awesome job, and obviously better than I would have done. So the winning ticket, again, it's a little over $500, starts with 604-1301. 604-1301. Anyone have that ticket? Right back here. All right. Congratulations. All right, I'll leave you with one last really quick story. So you're probably not aware of this, but of course, Forrest Gump had passed away. And he stood in front of the St. Peter at the pearly gates and said to St. Peter, "Welcome, Forrest. We've heard a lot about you up here." He continued, "Unfortunately, it's getting pretty crowded up here, and we find we have to give people an entrance examination before we let them in." "Okay," said Forrest. "I hope it's not too hard. I've already been through lots of tests." He says, "My mama used to say life's like a final exam. It's hard." "Yes, Forrest, I know, but this is a test, has only 3 questions. And here they are. Which 2 days of the week begin with the letter T? How many seconds are there in a year? And what is God's first name?" "Well, sir," said Forrest, "the first one's really easy. Which 2 days of the week begin with the letter T?" He says, 2, today and tomorrow. St. Peter looked a little surprised and said, "Well, that wasn't quite the answer I was looking for, but you have a point. I'm going to give you credit for that." The next question, Forrest said, "How many seconds in a year?" He says, "That's easy too." He says, "There's 12. St. Peter looks at him and says, 12? How'd you come up with that? He says, "How many seconds? There's January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd. He says, "Okay, enough. He says, "I'm going to give you credit for that as well." He said, the last question, he said to Forrest, he says, "What is God's first name?" He says, "That's easy too." He says, "It's Andy." He says, "Andy?" St. Peter was quite frankly in shock and said, "How in the world did you come up with that?" He says, "Well, I learned it in church." He says, "We used to sing about it all the time." And just like that, Forrest broke into song and says, "And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I'm his own." St. Peter opened the gate to heaven and said, "Run, Forrest, run." And with that, we're going to let you run tonight. Thank you for being here. We hope that you that are here for the first time, there's a lot of returning veterans. We hope that we see you back here. This is such an important event for us to come together as a community to celebrate our successes, celebrate our people and the great work of our community. Thank you all for being here, and safe travels home. Have a great night.